Hey brother, let's talk about something most guys never really take time to think about: how attractive you truly are. See, a lot of men go through life not even realizing how others perceive them. You might believe you're just another dude in the background, just going through the motions. But what if I told you there's something magnetic about you that you're not even aware of? What if you've been carrying a vibe that grabs attention, but because you don't recognize it, you're not using it to your benefit? Today we're uncovering the clear signs that show you've got that rare, effortless appeal. And listen, this isn't about looks. This goes much deeper. It's about energy. It's about presence. It's the subtle psychology that changes how people react to you without a single word. So hang tight, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly where you stand. Let's dive in. First sign, your vibe fills the room. Ever walk into a space and feel eyes land on you? Not because of your clothes, not because you said anything, but simply because your presence makes noise without a sound. That's influence. That's presence. Some guys walk in and fade into the background. Others, they shift the mood of the entire room. They don't need to be loud or the biggest guy around. Something about them just pulls respect. It's in their posture, shoulders back, chin up, calm and steady. They're not rushing. They don't try to disappear. They take up space like they belong there, and people feel that. Women pick up on it. Other men either respect it or feel challenged by it, because deep down they see you as a threat. So if you've ever walked into a place and noticed people reacting, even subtly, you've got that quiet power that turns heads. Second sign, women hold your gaze just a moment too long. Let's be honest, women are extremely aware of who's looking at them. They don't just keep making eye contact by accident. If a woman glances and quickly looks away, that's one thing. But if she locks eyes and lingers for a second longer than usual, she's feeling something. Sometimes, she's testing you. She wants to see if you can handle that kind of pressure. If you look away too fast, it reads as nervous. If you stare too long, it gets weird. But if you hold that gaze just right, then look away with confidence, boom, you just passed. And here's the twist. Some women will do the opposite. They'll avoid looking at you altogether. Not because they're not interested, but because eye contact feels too intense. Either way, she's reacting to your presence. Eye contact. It's one of the purest forms of connection. Pay attention to it. Third sign, you naturally steer conversations without even trying. Ever notice how certain guys speak and people just tune in? It's not because they're shouting or taking over the room. It's the way they talk with certainty. A guy who's got that quiet confidence doesn't feel the need to prove himself with big words or constant chatter. He speaks slowly, clearly, and only when he has something worth saying. There's a calm in his voice, a rhythm, no rush, no rambling to fill the silence. And when he talks, people lean in, because his words have weight. Women especially notice this. If she leans closer, if she's fully locked in, asking you questions and keeping the exchange going, she's not just being polite. She's intrigued. She's drawn in by your self-assuredness. That's the thing. Confidence doesn't shout. It doesn't perform. It just is. And when your energy says, I know who I am, people pay attention. So don't worry about saying the perfect thing. Focus on saying it with conviction. The rest follows. Fourth sign, people give you space without you asking. This one's subtle, but powerful. Ever been somewhere crowded, maybe a busy bar or a packed event, and noticed how people seem to step aside when you walk through? You're not pushing. You're not demanding attention. You're just moving with purpose. And somehow the room adjusts. That's not by accident. That's presence. When a man carries himself like he belongs, like he's got somewhere to be, people instinctively respect his space. No words needed. Even in casual settings, some guys get ignored, others are impossible to overlook. And it's not about how big you are. It's your energy, your self-belief. Women feel this immediately. When a man takes up space confidently, she assumes he's someone of value. And in the realm of attraction, perceived value is everything. Next time you're out, notice how people react. If they shift slightly, make room for you without a word. That's your presence doing the talking. Fifth sign, women look for reasons to be near you. Here's the truth. Most women won't come right out and say, hey, I'm into you. That's just not how it works. But if they're feeling something, they'll find ways to get close. And no, it's not just coincidence. Think about those moments. You're at the gym, at a cafe, maybe just walking through town, and a woman seems to randomly pop up nearby more than once. She might pass you a couple of times, stand just close enough for you to notice, fix her hair, adjust her outfit, glance at her phone like she's distracted. But it's not random. That's calculated. She's hoping you notice her. The real giveaway? Small talk that doesn't make any real sense. Maybe she asks you something super basic. Is this seat taken? Or, do you know what time they close? Something she easily could have figured out herself. But she's not after answers, she's after connection. If she laughs a little too hard at a weak joke, keeps asking things to keep the conversation alive, she's trying to stay in your space. Because here's the deal. If a woman isn't interested, she'll avoid interaction completely. But if she is, she'll make sure she's within reach, close enough for you to notice, close enough to be noticed. At the end of the day, attraction isn't about chasing. It's not about trying to look perfect. It's about the energy you walk with, the presence you carry. When you start moving through the world like you belong, like you don't need validation, people pick up on that, and they respond. So look around, my man. The signs are there. Once you start recognizing them, you'll realize they were always there. You just weren't tuned in. But now, everything starts to shift.